Okay, let's put these on.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful Wednesday, Reflection Wednesday. Here we are again today. My name is Bryn Chan, and I am so glad to be speaking to you guys once again. I want to bring up yesterday a little bit before we start. I want to apologize because I don't know what happened, but I was recording and then I posted the video, and then as I was listening to the video after I posted it, my voice just seemed to get higher and higher and higher, like I sucked in a bunch of helium. I had watched a couple of videos afterwards and I realized that it was nothing to do with the video quality or my speakers going wonky or anything. No, it was happening on my end. So, if it had anything to do with my mic or my headset, I don't know. I really don't. Um, I'm not that technologically advanced, I guess you could say. But yeah. So, um today's Reflection Wednesday. I don't know how much reflecting I'm going to do because I did do a lot of kind of reflecting Monday and Tuesday, just a little bit over what it was that I was doing. Um we had a lot of things happening. So, and it was I was doing terrible. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm glad that there is now um a new kind of system, I guess they have that's in place now to where my upline or my mentor can actually see it, see what I'm doing, and then he can look and see what it is that he needs to help me with, or see what I need help with, and then he can help me get along and do what it is that I need to do. These headphones are bugging me a little bit. Sorry. So I'm just glad that there is now something in place to where he can see what it is that I'm doing, and he doesn't need to ask me, "Hey, are you doing this?" or "Hey, are you doing that? Let's let's get on a call. Let's talk. What are we doing? What are you doing?" And I'm very thankful that that is now a part of what it is that I am doing. Just because now um I can be held accountable for everything. I don't have that kind of window to say this is what I've been doing and that I haven't really been doing it, and all of this other stuff. It holds me accountable. I can now look at it. And the one thing I really like is there is kind of a let me pull it up. I really enjoy this part of it. I don't know. I'm a competitive person, and I know the only person you need to be concerned about competing with is yourself, and that is completely true. But there is a leaderboard, and I am loving it. I am loving the leaderboard. I'm a very competitive person as it is. So, clearly I'm the only one who has this system on my team because my husband, he's part of my team, but he decided he wanted to continue working for now. I have no problem with that. It just doesn't help me when it comes to figuring out where he is and what he needs to do. Also, I know him in person and I see what he does in person when he's not at work. So, I mean, it does and doesn't help at the same time. There is one person who was in my team. I don't think he's in my team anymore, which is sad. But he is clearly not on the leaderboard right now just because I don't think he's in the business anymore. But yeah. So so I'm a very competitive person. I like being on top. I like being noticed. I like, you know, I see, and the thing I need to, I guess, reflect on the most is just the fact that I do like being noticed. I like all of these things, but then I like cower back because, like, I'm like, don't notice me. But then I get upset when somebody else is noticed instead of me. I'm just like, it's a continuous cycle, and it's not okay. So I need to, what is it that happens to make me want to do that? What makes me want to be noticed, but not at the same time? What is it, like, what happened to me as a child where that was such a big issue? And I guess the only thing I can pinpoint and really reflect on is the fact that when I was growing up, uh, being noticed was kind of a bad thing. Uh, because usually if you're noticed, it's not for anything good. And then of course we get in trouble and everything else. So and that made me want to hide my achievements even more. That way I didn't get in trouble, because what if I got an achievement for something that just it was wrong and I shouldn't have done that? What if I, what if, say, like when I was younger and I did choir, I joined choir. I loved it. I loved choir and I loved being able to be a part of choir, and I loved being able to attend competitions and the chance to fight for a solo, even though I knew I wasn't going to get it because I was too drawn back and too hesitant. Um, but it was always nice to be able to have that, just the fact that I could be able to be a part of that. But when it came to concerts, it wasn't very looked forward to in my household. I was the only one who looked forward to it. My parents didn't look forward to it because my mom, she was allergic to perfume. Dad, he was always at work when, it was time for me to do anything. So, which I can kind of understand why she didn't want to do it, but she didn't allow me to go with anyone else either to these competitions. So the next year when I asked if I could do choir again, she said no. So I was just kind of placed in that kind of, I shouldn't do this because clearly everything I do has a negative connotation connected to it. And so the only thing that I was able to do was forensics, and no, not forensic science that a lot of people think, but it was um forensics, like poetry and prose and solo acts and duet acts and all of that. And you can sing a little bit, you can act a little bit, and all of the things I love to do, but it wasn't like what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it, if that makes any sense at all, because I really loved singing, and that's very much what I still like to do. I still like to sing and I still like to do art and do all of these other things. It's just now I found that it really is just wanting more for myself. That's the thing that I've always wanted the most. The thing that I've always wanted the most is to have a better future than what it was that I was receiving when I was younger, which was, you know, parents were always broke. So biological parents never had money, but they always seemed to provide something because they either stole or something else. And um now realizing that my biological mother, she was a kleptomaniac, still is, because some of my earliest memories, childhood memories, is of her telling me to hide stuff in my shirt or diaper or whatever. Um, so she didn't have to pay for something. And then just, and then just even as recently as last year, having been around her for a little bit, it was we went to a guitar shop and then she had stuff in her purse and she was telling me like, "Hey, let's just take this." And I was like, "No, I can afford this. Like, why would I take it when I could easily just pay for it?" And then, you know, I don't need to do that. And then of course, being adopted at such a young age, at the age of 6, I think it was a better situation. Um, but it was still so there wasn't any thievery going on. Um, but it was where we would ask if we could have something or if we could get this toy or even just like I've said this story several times, like when I asked for 50 cents to get a drink from the chuck wagon and she said no. It was always no, because we don't have money. We can't afford to just go and buy all this extra stuff. But then it always would surprise me when she could buy like cakes and brownies and stuff for her and dad, but then like we couldn't get like snacks and stuff because it would be a waste of money and everything. And I understand to an extent, but at the same time, it doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, I mean, it made me want to arrive at that better future more. It made me want to do more. It made me want to just strive for something more. Like, I don't want to have to tell my kids no because we can't afford this or that and all this other stuff. And I want to be able to say no because I don't need it. Like, I want to be able to go to the store or have somebody go to the store for me or something, and then look at a box of cookies and be like, "Can we get this?" And then say no because obviously it's not healthy for you, not because it's the cheapest thing on the not because you just can't afford it. I mean, cookies are obviously sometimes cheaper than some of the healthiest options. It's just very sad. And also just going to Japan and seeing like the difference between the junk food and the healthy food options and soda and water even like you can go and go to the store and then you see your water options and everything. So when you go to the gas station and gas station water, let's face it, uh is a little pricey for water. I'm not saying that because of a poor broke mindset or negativity or anything. I'm saying this as a comparison. So gas station water here in the United States it costs a lot more than it does to buy a bottle of soda. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy that bottle of soda because it's cheaper than the water. Water is healthy for you and everything, but the soda you're thirsty and it's cheaper, so you're gonna do that. Okay, you're gonna do that. That's how a lot of Americans are. That's how it it works all over the United States. But if you go to Japan, that same sort of water, like it's not the same brands of water. Clearly, it's the Japanese brands, but they're so much cheaper than their soda counterparts. So you go to a convenience store or something like that, and then you go inside and you're like, "Oh, I'm thirsty." And maybe you want something sweet to drink or whatever, but then you if you still have that broke mindset and everything, where like, well, I'm just gonna go with the cheapest option, whatever they have available. You open the fridge area, and you're like, oh, water only costs 100 yen, and the soda, which by the way is smaller than the American sodas, cost 300 yen. Clearly, I'm gonna go with the water. Okay, and you can get a pretty big thing of water in Japan for 100 yen, or 120 for the 2 liters, or yeah, the 2 liters of water are like 120 yen, um, if not 100 yen. So, um, yeah, and 100 yen equals about $1, and 300 yen equals about 250 or something like that. Um, but yeah, we are programmed to really think when we go into a store, just, oh, this is cheaper. And when I first moved out, it was like that, because what I'm hearing from my parents as I'm growing up is, we can't afford this, but we can afford this. Like, why would I get you the name brand cereal when I can literally go over here for the big bags of cereal that cost less than the box of cereal? Okay, I can get the value size off-brand bag of Dino Pebbles than Fruity Pebbles. A box of regular Fruity Pebbles, like a regular size box of Fruity Pebbles. It costs the same and you get twice as much. Why would I why would I spend money and do that? Why? And then it was, why should I get you sugary cereal when I can just get you Cheerios and call it good? And then it was, why should I waste my money on cereal when I can just get you oatmeal and you guys will survive? And so we lived off oatmeal for a while, and then it was, you either eat in the morning or you don't. Like, there was still oatmeal in the cabinet, but we were all in charge of our own breakfasts and everything. So it would be, you either eat oatmeal in the morning or you just go to school without eating anything and call it good, because there was been plenty of times where I just went to school and I just didn't eat anything in the morning, and I just ate at lunch. Um, you know, and it was, we're not driving you to school, you're taking the school bus. And then it was, well, at first when we lived in Derby, it was you're walking to school, but then as we like grew older, like we took the bus. Uh, so we took the bus to school, and then it was, oh, you need to find a job. You need a job to get a car, but you need a car to get a job. I don't know how any of that works, but that's what it was. And it was, we're not driving you into town to take you to work, because that costs gas money. So just growing up in that kind of environment and always hearing these broke connotations of all of this other stuff. So by the time I moved out, I was well versed in the how to save when we go to the grocery store. Okay. I was well versed in the, okay, this is the box of cereal that we get instead of this one, and this is the milk that we get instead of this one, and this is the soap that we get. I don't know if any of you've heard of VO5, but let me tell you what, when I first moved out, VO5 was still 45 cents. Okay. I'm 27 years old. 2023. 27. VO5 was still 45 cents when I moved out. So, uh, do the math on that one. Because I moved out in 2015. So 2015, VO5 was still 45 cents. And then and that's the shampoo I grew up using was VO5. Um, and then that's the shampoo I would buy when we went out of the house, like when I moved out, because even though I liked Tresemme and everything because it made my hair feel nice and look better, I was raised to really, not worry about that so much, just worry about getting a shampoo that's cheap. And then um I was raised without using conditioner. Um because just conditioner just costs a little extra, and I was had a really oily head growing up. Um that has a lot to do with the shampoo I was using as well, because I shower every day and use conditioner every day and my head does not look oily like it used to. Um and then so when I was uh thrust into the adult world, it was don't buy a car off the lot because you'll be doing payments, and that one does make a lot of sense, because I've never once made payments on a car. Matter of fact, I just started doing payments on my phone. What do you want, baby boy? Sorry. Oh, come here. Come here. What's the matter? Oh gosh. Oh, you can't do that and then walk away. That's not cool. You're gonna whine for my attention and then you're gonna walk away? Hmm? Well, I got that too. Okay, he's joined us again. Just for a little bit. I don't know how long he's gonna be up here this time. He was just crying and then he wanted my attention and now he's off. Kind of. Yep. There he goes. And then he started walking away as soon as he got my attention. So yeah, and now I have his slobber on my nose. But I kind of forgot where it was. But it was like that. So every car I've ever owned, it was a used car, and I've never done payments on cars and everything. I just started doing payments on my phone, mainly because everything is in investments, and it's gonna take a little bit to pull everything out. Takes about a couple weeks. If you have a broker who does it for you. I don't know about, I've never withdrawn anything from the account that I do myself, so I wouldn't know how long that takes. But I would assume it might take a couple days to do so. So yeah. Um, and then I have a couple other investment things that I can't seem to think of right now. So but yes, I've never paid for like a new car. And yes, new cars do lose value as soon as you drive them off the lot, unless they're like really rare luxury cars and or just rare cars in general. Because those seem to go up in value the longer you have them. Um, Especially if you take really, really good care of them, because if you don't take good care of them, even if they are rare, they might still fetch a pretty penny, but they're not going to fetch as much as they could have if they were kept in good condition. Um, so I've never bought a car off the lot, and um I had a roommate when I first moved out. I had a couple, so I lived with my friend for a little bit, so I guess that counts. And then I lived with the woman that I met at Walmart. Had no idea who she was, and I lived with her because I'm a genius. And I just hated having roommates after that. And then I got a roommate again in 2019, 2020. And uh it was decent. I didn't really like it because I had to share space, but she was nice. She was a very nice person. And then when it came to, when I moved in with my husband and boyfriend, um it was like it was completely different with him, not his mom. His mom still is very, we need this instead of this, and we need this instead of this because of the price. Okay, this one costs less than that one. That's how she got gout, by the way. That's not completely the reason why she got gout, but that is part of the reason. Is because her diet was specifically around price. Um, so yeah, but my husband, on the other hand, he was like, "Oh, you want to go here? Okay. You want to do this? Okay. You want this? Okay." And then it was weird. And then coming from that background, it was very like, "Why are you doing this? You're not saving any sort of money." And he was like, "Oh, I got a couple thousand in savings. It's fine." I'm like, "That's not a lot." Just so you know, that might sound like a lot to you, but that's not a lot. So you can't just be spending it on just random crap all the time. Like I understand, like, and I get you want to, spoil me with stuff. Matter of fact, when we first, started dating and he came over to visit me, he tried to buy me everything that I said looked good, or said that I kind of wanted. He tried to buy it for me, and I'm like, slow down, sir. We aren't about that right now. Um, but it was different to me. It was foreign to me, and I didn't understand, and just and then now I kind of feel bad because at the time he was like, money just it will come back. Okay, I'll get it back. It's fine. And that's a great mentality to have, but he was using it in the wrong way. You put money into the universe, you get money back. But he was spending it on like nonsense. He wasn't like investing it in anything at the time. He was talking all about investing, and he was talking about, oh, this is what you need to invest in the S&P 500, gold is a really good thing to invest in, and Bitcoin. It was all about Bitcoin, and then Dogecoin. He was talking about Dogecoin when that was up and coming. He was talking about all of this stuff, and he was like, yeah, these are really great things to invest in, but he would never actually be investing in them himself. And so he would talk to these people like, oh, these are the things that you need to invest in, and the majority of people he talked to just would not invest in them because Scott wasn't investing himself. I mean, there was a couple people here and there who might have invested. I know that there is our old roommate, he invested a little bit, um, because he was also interested in investing at the time as well. And, him and my husband would talk all the time about these investments and how they're doing, and my husband, he would watch all these videos about, oh, this is what's up and coming, this is what's happening, this is how you're going to make money. But then of course he was never actually in that himself, so he wasn't actually making money himself. He was just kind of there. And so really I'm the one who got him into investing. I'm like, you talk so much about it. Are you actually doing it? And he'd be like, no, I'm not actually doing it. I just know which ones are good to invest in. I'm like, well, how do you know that they're good to invest in if you've never actually invested into them? And he's like, you're right, you're right. And so I started investing first, and then he started to invest afterwards after seeing that I was doing it. It's really funny because back in 2019, 2020, 2019, back in the summer of 2019, I started to invest. Um, before him and I got together. Before he even came up to see me, before he even was really talking to me again, I was uh learning how to invest and everything because I was interested and I wanted to know. I had just gotten out of a relationship with my ex, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the things that I want to do. I want to be successful in life, and you know what? It's up to me to get that kind of life. You know, I wasn't too big into the personal growth stuff because I had spent 4 years of my life in a very toxic, abusive relationship. So I was like, it's time for me to focus on me. I want a successful life. My ex didn't want that. I want it, and so I'm gonna go for it. So that's kind of how that was, and it's kind of funny because I didn't really start investing until after I was with my husband. But I mean, I now had somebody who wanted to talk about investing with me, and then let me check the time. Yeah, we're okay. I have another meeting to get to. I was on another meeting that was supposed to be continued in this hour. Um but they're also recording it, so I'm gonna go ahead and review the recording because I've noticed I'm not very good when it's live. I am better when I can pause the video and really take time to focus on what it is that I need to focus on. So but I really started to look for online work when my husband and I got together. I mean, investing was nice and all. I started to do that, but it was like I wanted more. I wanted to I wanted to not have to go into a physical job at all because I had been there, done that, and I didn't like it. I didn't want any of that to happen at all. So I strongly looked for an online job or something where I didn't have to go in, and it just wasn't working. And then I got these jobs that I actually had to go to, and then I really focused on personal growth and everything. Not as much as I should have been. Um, but then I then we got married and then I quit the waitressing job. And then, of course, you guys know the rest. I was feeling sorry for myself and I felt like garbage because my husband was the only one working and I felt bad. I'm like, why can't I also bring money in? Why does he have to be the only one who does it? Why? I'm gonna move my mouse. I don't know if you guys can see it on there, but it's been on my face for a while. Um, why is he the only one who has to support us? Why can't I bring something in as well? So, and then that's how I found affiliate marketing. And then I did affiliate marketing for 6 months. And then I not even 6 months really. So it was September, October, November, December, January, Feb. Wait, hold on. October, November, December, January, February. It was 5 months. It was 5 months because I started in September, but it was 5 months because I think I started towards the end of September when I really, really got into it. Okay, so no, it was in September. I started to really get into it in August, but I didn't my training wasn't until September to really figure out what it was that affiliate marketing was about. And then I revamped my channel. Um Privated a lot of my old videos. And then I really just from there I went from affiliate marketing into what I am doing now. And I honestly can say I really like this so much better. Affiliate marketing, yeah, was great. It was just I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't very I guess mentally prepared for it, I guess is what you could say. I wasn't really into that personal growth as much as I should have been. And then I really, when the stranger found me on the internet and they were like, hey, this is what we got. And he put me on a couple videos and everything. I was fully prepared to say no. And I think I've said that in a few videos. I was fully prepared to say no. But then after everything, I was like, I couldn't focus on the meeting with his mentor, and I couldn't focus really on anything what he was saying. But something in me was like, you have to go for this. This is what it's gonna happen. This is what's gonna get you where you want to be. And so when they said the price of it, I was like, here you go. Here you go. I don't I don't even care right now. I just this is what's going to make it happen for me. I know this is what's going to work. This is what I need to do. I will pay what it is I need to pay, and I honestly have never regretted it a single time. Never regretted it. Not a once have I ever regretted joining this. Matter of fact, I even got my husband in on it. So like, why would I regret something and then get my husband in on it? So, you know, this is I really enjoy it. I really do. And it's just something that I know is what's gonna get me to it's brought me so far already, but it's gonna bring me even farther. And I look forward to seeing where the future takes me and, getting the life I want. I've always wanted and the family I've always wanted and stuff like that. And then being able to help my existing family now, that'd be wonderful to do. It's going to be wonderful to do. It's going to be great to, be able to do all of these things. I know I've talked about my goal about Africa and all of these other things, it's going to be fantastic. Just being able to actually do these things and not just talk about them, not just record them in a video and post it online and write on the piece of notebook paper and have all these sticky notes all over my desk. It's going to be great to actually be able to do that instead of just having it written down somewhere and on the internet somewhere and telling people about it and all this other stuff. It's going to be fantastic to actually be able to do that. And then I can look at all these pieces of paper and be like, I made it. I did it. I I I made this happen. I found an environment that helped me to get to where it is that I needed to be. What they made me do what I needed to do. They really just brought me into this space that got me out of my comfort zone. It was like an out of body experience. Sorry, I just have a lot of spit in my mouth. It was like an out of body experience. They like yanked me out of my shell and forced me into this bigger circle. And I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? What's happening? Okay, I'm uncomfortable. Okay, they made me uncomfortable, and which made me grow, and all of this other stuff. And wow, I made it. I made it. And it gave me a reason to want to post on YouTube, and it gave me a reason to want to talk to people more. It gave me a reason to really just get out there and talk to people I don't even know. Talk to whoever the heck is standing next to me at the moment. Whoever's just on the internet. I'll just randomly send a message and be like, "Hey, how are you? I liked your profile. I'd like to talk to you." It got me to do that because when I first started, I was like, "Oh, you want me to talk to 10 people? No, I don't want to talk to 10 people. I don't know these people. They don't know me. Why would I talk to them?" And then, of course, when you first start, everyone's like, "Yeah, I don't know you, so I'm not going to talk to you." But it's a learning experience. It's a learning curve, and then you realize that you're attracting the people that are coming to talk to you or that you're talking to. And if they're ignoring you or if they're telling you, you're a scammer or whatever and all this other stuff, it's because you're attracting those kind of people because in the back of your mind you're thinking the same thing. And I know for sure that's what I was attracting in the very beginning, because I was the same way in the beginning. Before I started this, even, I was like, everything that requires me to invest is a scam. Everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Everything, if it requires money, it's obviously a scam. And and they're gonna run off with my money and I'm never gonna see it again. And then it's not even like that. It's not like that, because it's a wise guy on the internet. I'm pretty sure it's a wise some wise Asian guy that I saw said it. I guarantee you, so many other people have said it as well. As nothing that makes you successful is free. And I resonate with that so well now, because I realize that when you go to college, is your college courses free? Like, mine were, but I went through a program to put me through college and I didn't even finish. So if it's free, how much value are you going to place on that? Because I clearly did not put that much value onto my college because it was free. I didn't have to pay for it. Yes, I was going to classes every day, but then towards the end, I was not showing up, or, you know, or dropped out. Like I did, I just dropped out. And I called them up and I was like, hey, can I start next year, and all of this other stuff, which never even happened, because when I called them up and was like, I'm moving to another city, can I start again next year with my college? They were like, no, no, you can't, because your grades were not what they needed to be in order for you to stay in this program to go to college. You can stay in the program, but you will have to go a different way. Instead of college, you will have to do the workforce program, and you will have to learn how to do different things, and we will work with you until you can find a job that you can settle in. And that's what it was. Settle in. Settle. It wasn't find you something that'll take you into your future. It was screw your future. This is what you're going to settle for. What value do you actually take from it if it's free? So if you go to college and you are on scholarship or you pay for it, you're going to place so much more value on that. And then you're just going to excel in what it is that you're doing. Because if you have to pay for a college course, then you're going to make sure that you get good grades. If mommy and daddy are paying for it, you're gonna party all the time. That's just how it is. That's I wasn't partying all the time, but I clearly wasn't putting in as much as I needed to be if I really valued what it was that I was doing. I can sit here and I can blame my ex all the time, because yes, during that time I was having all these issues and my focus was on all of the negativity and everything that was in my life, but then I took away from my future to focus on that. I really did. So nothing is free if it's going to give you what it is that you want. So imagine you have to pay for college. You have to pay to do all of this other stuff. If you really want to do it, that you got to pay for it. If you want a better future, you got to pay for it. If you want a better future through college, you pay for college. If you want to be a business owner, okay, say you want a brick and mortar store, or you want a food chain, you want to buy a a branch from McDonald's or whatever. I don't even know what the word is. If you want to buy a location from like a McDonald's from the McDonald's Corporation, you have to pay into that in order franchise. That's what it is. If you want to be a franchisee of McDonald's, you have to pay for that. You have to pay at least, I think it was what, $2 million in order to be a franchisee of McDonald's. I think. Don't quote me on that. I heard it from somewhere else. So don't quote me on that. I do not know. I Disclaimer, I don't know where this number came from. But you have to pay X amount of money in order to be a franchisee, and then you have to basically what you're doing is paying rent, and it takes about 2 years for you to finally see that profit back. Okay. Again, disclaimer, I don't know that I heard this from somewhere else. Okay, I don't actually know. But it takes so long. My brother, he owned his own skate shop. It cost him X amount of money to have the building and get the products and sell it. And then he had to sell enough to make profit on it. And all of that. So when you go and you start your own business, even if it's online, you have to pay as well. But the thing with online is you don't have to pay for an actual physical location, so it's going to be a lot cheaper. But you're going to have to pay somebody to mentor you. If you want to you have to pay them. They're not going to give you their services for free, and somebody's going to come at me somewhere and be like, "You're wrong. There are mentors out there who will do it for free." Bob Proctor. Okay, you had to prove to him that you really want it, and you had to prove to him that you were willing to invest in yourself before he mentored you. Okay, and I think Darren Gibson himself, he had to pay into it. He's like, Bob Proctor made you pay for something, and then he told you you were never going to get a refund back, because if it was something that you really wanted to do, then you were going to stick with it, and if you didn't want to do it, well, then you're out, like however much money that you invested in. Okay, and that's just how it's going to be when you go to college and you drop out. You don't, can you say, "Hey, I want a refund"? I I'm gonna stop a huge doubt on that. I don't know if you can or not, but I'm gonna stop a huge doubt on that one, because can you? Are you really going to be able to get a refund on your college if you drop out? I don't think so. So is it college a scam? Is it a scam? Just asking. For those of you who go to college or have gone to college, is it really a scam? Hmm? Or those of you who are strong advocates for going to college, is college a scam? If everything else is a scam, then why isn't college a scam? I'm gonna end off on that one. It is almost time for me to hop onto another meeting. So I'm gonna end it off here. I hope you got some value on it. I know I got a little bit more excited towards the end of the video because I got really passionate about it. So remember to invest in yourselves, because you are the very best person you can ever invest in. And I think I made that point very clear towards the end of this video. Remember to invest in stocks, gold, stocks, real estate, gold, silver, all that fun stuff. I forgot where I was going for a second. I love you guys. Mwah, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.